Welcome to the special municipal elections broadcast as we're bringing it live to you from here at the Results Operations Centre here in Pretoria. Now, throughout this week, we will be bringing you all the election-related news coverage from all over the country. And of course, our reporters are on the ground. They will also be bringing you live coverage from the scene. I am Alisha Jali. Now, today, funny enough, is of course the SABC celebrating its 80th birthday. Happy birthday to the SABC. And of course, SABC News Channel 44 is also celebrating its third birthday. Let's turn our attention to our top story this hour. One of the hotspots in Wednesday's elections is, of course, as you might have seen in the build-up to the elections, is Tlokwe in the northwest. And of course, the special votes are underway in the area. But our reporter, Lizette Labuschagne, is on the scene and she joins us live for a coverage. Lizette, a very good afternoon to you. How is the special voting going today in Tlokwe?
A good afternoon to you too, Alisha. We are currently here at the Ikageng informal settlement just outside of Tlokwe, and the special vote started here at 7 o'clock this morning. We had no technical glitches here at all, voting stations opening like they should. We are still seeing a lot of people coming in here, passing their special votes. Most of them cannot walk so well. Some are being assisted by party agents around here. And we've also seen a number of police officials and even those that are in the defense force coming to vote here. Tlokwe is the district that's got the most people that were registered to cast special votes here, and we are seeing them coming in their numbers.
It's funny you say that, because we heard that it takes about 10 minutes for voters to verify their details on the voters' roll. How is the process working out? Has there been a sense of frustration amongst the voters, or are they excited in general to be part of the elections today?
Alisha, it is taking quite long for people here in Tlokwe to vote. You will understand that the Constitutional Court process that said that addresses needs to be verified here is making it quite difficult for IEC officials. Now, what is happening is, as soon as you are coming to a voting station here in Tlokwe, they will check if your address is verified on the voters' roll. Now, this morning we've seen quite a number of people that came in whose addresses are not yet on the voters' roll. Now, those people are then told to put their addresses on a special form, and their vote is then kept separate from those that are verified on the voters' roll. So those addresses that are not verified, people who we've not seen before, their votes will be counted separately. Now, we've also seen Mr. David Kalm, the leader of the independents here in Tlokwe, this morning saying that they are still unhappy about those that are voting in the wrong voting districts. Now, you will understand that there was an amalgamation also here where Ventersdorp was joined into the Tlokwe local municipality, and quite a number of boundaries have changed, and people are now voting in areas where they do not normally stay. Now, Kalm has indicated that they might raise an objection with the IEC after the elections.
What are the IEC officials saying about this in particular, Lizette?
Well, we've not spoken much to the IEC officials here today. The officials that we've seen outside the voting stations here have been extremely helpful. They've actually taken quite a long time to explain to people how they must vote, which forms they must fill in, checking all addresses on the voters' roll, and even assisting those that might have come to the wrong voting district. And they are making sure that no objections can be raised here in Tlokwe, because the opposition parties here being very strict, saying that they will check that free and fair elections do take place here.
Now, Lizette, you touched on it just a moment ago, but I want us to expand on this issue. I mean, a lot of political analysts as well as observers believe that the increase of smaller parties as well as the independent candidates contesting these elections might actually change the outcome of the polls. But talk to us about that. What's the current scene like there?
Yes, of course the Democratic Alliance before the amalgamation with Ventersdorp were quite positive that they might have a strong chance of taking over the Tlokwe local municipality. Now a few years ago they actually did go into a coalition with independent candidates, the Democratic Alliance, Independents, COPE and also Freedom Front Plus being represented here. And this year we are seeing quite a number of former ANC councillors standing both in Tlokwe and Ventersdorp as independent candidates, and they are absolutely certain that they will take wards that have previously been a stronghold for the ANC. Now the other interesting factor that we will have to watch, of course, is how the EFF will perform here, and we've heard them saying that they themselves will go into coalitions with other parties, and we are not too sure if such a coalition would actually give opposition parties here in Tlokwe the majority in the local council.
And just to close off, Lizette, have you seen any party reps or officials at the voting stations? Because as you mentioned earlier, they said they wanted to make sure that the elections go by free and fair.
Yes, we've actually taken a tour this morning through the town. In Tlokwe itself, in Potchefstroom, we saw quite a number of DA party agents outside churches, halls, having a little bit of coffee, speaking to the people that are coming in. And as we were coming here to Ikageng also, we passed a hall here where the ANC had their people out in ANC branded clothing, sitting outside with flags. And it was quite colourful to see everybody outside, but mostly the ANC and the Democratic Alliance being quite strong, still assisting those that need help to get to the voting stations.
Thank you so much there to our reporter on the scene, and of course that is Lizette Labuschagne, and she was joining us from one of the so-called hotspots that is of course Tlokwe. Let's now go to Cape Town where Abra Barbia is standing